you feel it. Guys, voice cut. This is the podcast that you
Hey, what's happening? This is your host Tinto, and before I get started on this weekend's episode, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that got me coffees, starting with the big bro Matt, first time listener to the podcast, first time contributor, 5 generous coffees, and you didn't leave a comment, but I know why. We'll catch up later. Next up, I have the Gedzaman, 3 generous coffees, and your comment there reads, got to do the deed. Baraka's story was too real, broken heart, amen. Couldn't say that any better, bro. And then next up, I have Rumbi E. 2 generous coffees. Your comment there reads, send the hot one, Quattro. Well, here it is. And then last but not least, I got Talia K. 3 generous coffees, and your comment there reads, hey Tinto, I just want to show my appreciation for this amazing podcast. My commute to work is definitely more pleasant with TFS. Keep up the good work and keep the episodes coming. Well, this is another episode, and you're welcome, Talia. Can't thank you enough. If you would like to support the podcast in a similar way, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/feeling and give as the spirit leads. Remember, there is nothing too small to support the podcast that you've grown to love. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into this week's episode. And I'm going to ask you for a favor on this one. It's a slow burner. Be patient with it, because right at the end, there's a moral issue that even I'm still thinking about today. And I don't know how it needs to be dealt with or... yeah, let me not spoil it. Bear with it. Enjoy the episode, and I will catch you on the next one.
Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here. On Feeling Station.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Tinto. How are you?
Good. Sounds like you were having a party in the background just now.
No, just playing music.
What's the occasion? What were you playing?
I was actually watching TikTok videos.
Well, welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thank you.
For those listening to the podcast for the first time, it's a romantic family and friendship breakup podcast showcasing stories that people would like to talk about with the view to give you lessons from their experiences. Now, I hope you find today's story entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful. And the podcast is really, really popular for 2 main reasons. The first being I do my best to keep you, my friend, anonymous by giving you a name from the African continent. And today I've gone over to South Sudan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And the name that I have for you is Akisa, which is Akisa, Akisa. And what that means is a joyful girl.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Would you describe yourself as joyful?
Very much, actually.
You sounded more joyful when we spoke earlier on than now. So it looks like the nerves have got the best of you, huh?
Yeah, they did.
Don't worry, you'll be fine by the end of the story. Then the second reason why the podcast is really popular is they're real life lessons that people learn from the story that you're going to share. But before we get into that, what name do you want to give the person you're going to talk about today?
Well, I came up with a name from the Bible, King Solomon.
You calling him King Solomon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Too many women.
I was secretly hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but hey.
Too many women.
Okay, here we are. So the story is about Akisa and King Solomon. And as I was saying just now, they're real life lessons that people learn from the story that you're going to share today. So what would you like anybody listening to your story today to walk away with?
Okay, so the first one will be the best way to keep a narcissist happy is to be an audience to their show of their life. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know.
Wow, okay. If you got a second lesson?
Yeah, the second one is when you cheat, karma becomes a shadow.
Yo, this is deep.
It always get back to you.
Wow.
Definitely.
Okay, nice. And if you got a third one?
I think we'll just go with those 2, and then the rest you get it as I go with the story.
Okay, so just those 2, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is the best way to keep a narcissist happy is to be an audience at the show of their life. Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Then number 2, when you cheat, karma becomes your shadow. Hey, I don't even know which one is more powerful. Those are really solid, man. Okay, now when I spoke to you earlier, you gave me a feeling this is going to be a very unique episode because You said this is a confession.
Yeah, it's kind of a confession.
I've never had a confession on this podcast, so okay, it's unique. But anyway, let's get into it like we normally would, and then you just form the story as you see fit. So,
Okay.
Akisa, tell me, where did you meet King Solomon, and why did you decide to give him a chance with you?
Okay, so this was when I was 18, high school period, and I was dating someone else. When I met King Solomon, you know those back in my country, when you're in high school towards your exams, you'll be going for extra lessons and all that. Yeah, so I was in a boarding school, but on holidays, I would go for extra lessons. And I was dating someone who was already done with high school and all that. But we were high school sweethearts, like we were dated for like 4 years. So I was not interested in anyone, not even.
Okay.
And here comes King Solomon. He stayed. His house was like on my way to where I was going for my lessons. So I could see him like every day. And he was on my case since then. And I would tell him, oh, I have my boyfriend, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But he never gave up. Until I finished my high school, finished my exams, and I discovered that the boyfriend was actually cheating on me.
Oh,
Let's just say he had a work wife.
He had a work wife? Oh dear. How did you find out?
After school, you know, when you're going to boarding school and the exam class, I wasn't like using my phone that much. And afterwards, when I finished, that's when I found out that he has been posting on Facebook and everything with his new girlfriend. They already moved in together because they were working together.
What?
Exactly. And there comes my second lesson. Come on. Anyways, that work wife left him for their boss. I know. I was kind of happy. I know it's evil, but I was kind of happy. Anyways. So I was heartbroken, 18-year-old heartbroken. And then I left the country. But King Solomon didn't give up. And I was like, okay, what's up with this guy? 2 years trying to pursue me? Let's give him a chance. So that's how we started dating. Everything was okay. He was like, ticking all the boxes, treating the girl. Oh yeah, when I had the heartbreak, from the other guy, I left the country. Went to another country just for, the long holiday because I was waiting for my results. So that's where I spent my birthday and everything. And when I came back, he had planned a mini birthday party celebration for me and everything.
Nice.
Like he was doing everything right. And he was already in uni. So when my results came out, I was like to my mom, I want to go to the same uni with him, which is in our city.
Right, okay.
And I didn't want to stay at the campus because he was not staying at the campus.
So where was he staying?
I was commuting from home to school at the time because he was also working. Yeah, so that was the thing. So we could go home together, spend the time together at school when it's exam period, study together and stuff like that. So during exam period, like end of my first year, there was this guy he was always studying with. Just to know. And then he was like, oh, it's just a friend and stuff like that. Anyways, I didn't question much because I only see them together at school.
Did you say a guy or a girl?
A girl.
Okay. So King Solomon always used to study with some girl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't question much about that one. And then as time goes on, I saw chats. So there was this one time we were in the library together, studying together, and then a message popped up. And I saw the name, I saw the profile picture, and I knew the face. And I was like, where do you know this guy? And they're like, oh, it's just a family friend and stuff like that. It's totally a different girl from the one he studies with.
Mm.
And we're like, oh, I just know him from family friend, something like that. And they're like, oh, okay, I know her. She was my junior in high school.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, oh, yeah, you went to the same high school, actually, blah, 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 and stuff like that. And then I let it pass. And then it was Valentine's. And then he planned this whole couple photo shoots and stuff like that. And then a few days later, I was with his phone again, seeing those pictures from the photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And soon after the pictures of the photo shoot, of the Valentine photo shoot, there was his pictures with the same girl from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And those pictures, you don't have to explain. It was so obvious that these people are dating.
What made it so obvious?
Oh, the way they were sitting together. The other ones they were in a park and stuff like that. And then there's this one. They were in his room. He was half naked. The girl was dressed, but he was half naked.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. That's how we broke up. I didn't even give him time to explain and stuff like that. Oh, that's how we broke up for the first time anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went for like 4 months. And then we got into lockdown.
Mm.
And then no communication, no anything. And then after lockdown, I was not going back to school. And then I told my mom, now I want to stay in campus.
Okay.
And she was like, okay, it's fine, whatever you want. So I was preparing for going to campus, getting my foodstuffs and stuff like that. That's when I realized that in this shop that I went to buy some stuff, that's where King Solomon's sister was working.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were just talking, oh, hi, catching up, because after the whole lockdown thing, I never see anyone, that kind of thing.
Mm.
So, and then we're just catching up, talking. And then there's this guy that came out from the back.
Mm.
Handsome, hot, Tinto.
Mm.
And I'm like, that man. And I was about to go working out because the store is not that big. It's just a small. So, and they were like, oh, can I help you with the bags? And they're like, oh, don't worry, I'm just going down the road and stuff like that. It's fine, I can help you with the bag. And then he helped me with the bags and exchanged numbers.
Okay.
I couldn't resist.
Because you couldn't resist because he was hot. You found him attractive.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And then when I got home, he started texting me and we started talking. Honestly, I wasn't interested in dating that time because I was like, no, I'm done with this whole thing of dating after what King Solomon did.
So why were you exchanging contacts?
Just to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, just to talk to him. And then when we started talking, then here comes this idea of revenge. Because every time we could hang out with him, we're not dating yet, just, when he calls me, because I was also working part-time when I'm not at school in town. So you could call me, oh, what are you doing for lunch? You can pass through my shop and then we go and get lunch together or something like that. And I could see the discomfort in King Solomon's sister every time I go there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started enjoying the whole revenge part of it. That's how I started dating him, the manager. And then King Solomon would come sometimes here and there, to see his sister or to get his sister lunch or something like that. And sometimes I would be in the shop with the manager. And it will piss him off so much until one day he actually came to my workplace and said, can you please forgive me for whatever I did, because whatever you're doing with this guy, I know you don't love me. You're just doing it to piss me off. And they're like, why is it your business to come into my life? Like, whatever I'm doing, it's none of your business. I can date whoever I want.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you a chance to date me, to have a laugh with me, and then you did what you wanted to do. I didn't ask you. After all, you went and cheated on me with my junior in high school. And he apologized and stuff like that. And they're like, anyways, whatever. And then a few months, I left the country. I went to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Very far from Zimbabwe. Yeah. And then I left the country. And then years goes by. Mind you, King Solomon is always following me on my social media, seeing what's up, who I'm dating, what I'm doing, and stuff like that. And then I think after 2.5 years of him just being there following me, I could see that he actually opens my profiles, my social media all the time. He noticed that I wasn't dating anyone. And then he approached me again.
Where was he at this time? Was he still back home?
Still back home.
Okay.
So he approached me and like, oh, I'm changed, blah, 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 blah. Everything is changed, stuff like that. And I was like, that time, I just, come out of a very toxic relationship. And I'm like, you know what? This is what happened with me. I was in this relationship and didn't work out. And I want to work on myself. I don't want any relationship right now. So it's either you're going to be patient enough with me or you can just leave. And like, no, it's fine. I want you, blah, blah, blah. I want to show you that everything has changed. And I'm really, really serious with you and everything. So let's do this. And they're like, okay, it's fine. Let's do it. And mind you, this is a long distance relationship. So from there, it was those 2-3 hours calls day in, day out for almost 4 months. In the 5th month, he started just, dragging. Sometimes he just say, oh, I'm back from work and I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. No calls. And I'm like, this is suspicious. Anyways, I didn't put too much effort on it or ask too much about it. They're like, okay, it's fine. Let's see how this goes. And there's this weekend. It was actually Mother's Day weekend. So when I was dating King Solomon back home, he used to know all my family members and stuff like that. Okay. But they didn't know him like that, like we were dating. He just had know where my mom works and stuff like that from a distance. So I was like, oh, it's Mother's Day. So he was like, oh, this weekend is Mother's Day and I'll be home. I'm not working. And then I said, oh, I want to send you with something to my mom. And like, oh, okay, fine. It's fine. You just tell me what you want and then I'll get it for you and then I'll go and drop it. That was Friday morning. And then he didn't get back to me the whole of Friday, Saturday, and Mother's Day was on Sunday.
Oh.
And I spent the whole Sunday trying to get hold of him, and he was nowhere. And then on Monday, he texted me like, something is not okay, but I can't talk to you right now. I'll call you at night, this Monday morning, I'll call you tonight and tell you what's up. They're like, okay. And I was kind of scared. And it's like, oh, maybe he was in an accident or something like that.
But before that, the first thing you described is being scared. You haven't described anything about how you felt about him not helping you with Mother's Day.
I was actually worried about him.
So I'm just saying how it comes across on my end. It sounds like you're more concerned about a boy versus something being given to your mom.
I end up arranging something different like a week later.
Yeah, but in that moment when you...
I was actually worried about him more than...
Okay.
I know, Ethan. I don't know. So he was like, I'll call you at night, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, fine. He didn't call me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm trying to call him in and out, in and out. And then Friday, I then called his brother's wife. I have a contact, and they're like, "Oh, what's up with Solomon? I've been trying to reach him and he's not available." And he was like, "Oh, I actually spoke to him this morning and he's fine." And he's, "I'll let him know that you were looking for him." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because when I tried to call him, his phone was on D&D. Or sometimes the messages will not even double take. But the brother's wife say, "Oh, I actually spoke with him this morning." And they're like, "Okay, it's fine." And then within a few minutes, they're like, "Oh, I actually talked to him. He's okay. He said you get back to you." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." And then at night, Friday night, he then texted me, "Oh, I hear you're looking for me. Let me call you back." This is a text after a whole week of ghosting me. And I'm like, "Okay, it's fine. I'm still waiting for your call."
What do you mean, okay, it's fine? I mean, by this time, something is running through your mind.
A lot was running through my mind.
What was going through your mind?
But the last thing that came into mind was him cheating. I thought something happened at home or at work. I don't know. I was just worried about him more than thinking that he cheated on me again or something like that. So he then called me. That's Friday. He didn't call me. And then he called me Saturday. And he was home. And he just called me like, "Oh, see, I'm back home. I'm in my room. I actually have message." You know, like he was talking like we had spoke like 2 hours ago. Like, "Oh, see my room. I miss my room. Blah blah blah. I miss him. I was with my mom." Blah, blah. And he was started telling me about his day. And I'm like, "Hold on, tell me, where were you all this time?" I was trying to reach him. Like, "Oh, something was up. Something is up. I'll tell you when I go back to my house. Right now, I can't tell because I'm at home." And then I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll wait." I was patient.
Aye, but you also
very patient.
Why the need for the patience, right? You're constantly being told the same thing that I'll tell you.
Because I wanted to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's all the reason to ask the question, to say what's going on.
But I didn't even get the platform to ask all those questions because he was not talking to me.
Ish.
So I just had to be patient to wait until he tells me what's going on.
Okay.
And mind you, by this time, I'm already planning to go back home. And I told him, "Oh, I'm actually coming back home in 3 months' time." And he was like, "Oh, okay, it's fine. To show you how serious I am with this thing, that I want to marry you." And he was playing the whole marriage card by this time. We're actually going to get engaged, blah, 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 blah. Because I told him I'm not staying for too long. I'm just there I need to fix some stuff and then I come back. And like, "Oh, so if you're not staying for too long, we can't arrange for the whole traditional wedding and stuff like that in a short time. So we just get engaged and stuff like that." So at this time, having this whole my husband picture in my head.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to be patient, to be, the wife, to be there for my future husband. I know it sounds crazy. And then the weekend is over. And Monday, I texted him, "Are you back home? Are you back at work?" And he replied, "Mom, yeah, I'm back." I'm like, "Okay, fine. Call me after work." And he's like, "Okay, fine. I'll call you." I finished work later than him. So when I finished work, there was no missed call or anything from him. And then I tried to call him. He didn't pick up. His phone was on D&D again, which is rare, actually. And then now I'm starting to get worried.
It's not rare.
Even more suspicious of what's going on.
Wait, Akisa, it's not rare. It's not rare that his phone is on D&D. Because you've already mentioned once that it was on D&D once upon a time.
Yeah, but it was within these weeks. But before that, it never happened.
I think we only mention things whenever we're telling these stories because they have significance. So when you were talking about Mother's Day, you said the phone went on D&D because that was important to mention.
Yeah,
you've just mentioned D&D again now. And then in the same breath you say that he hadn't done that before. He's done it before. And you're mentioning it because it's important. But why are you saying he hadn't done it before when he had?
Okay. Before the Mother's Day and everything, I haven't done that. So that's why I was worried instead of, being suspicious and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. I know I don't want to dwell on it. I don't want to dwell on it, but I get the sense this guy had done this a few times. Or at least if he hadn't done it with his phone, he's doing it with his body language. Like almost every day, he's on D. He can go for weeks without talking to you. Well, not weeks, days, a week at most without talking to you. Then he just turns up, now I'm home. The whole time that is not available to you. He is on D&D. So what is strange about him being on D&D with the phone now?
Because I was not paying attention too much.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then I think after 2-3 days, when he got back home, he then texted me first. At this point now, I stopped chatting. I just told myself, whatever, you look for me when you want to talk to me. And I think that actually played a role for him to now, start looking for me instead. And then he texted me first and like, I wanted to tell you something. And I'm like, what is it? Go ahead. Like, but I have to apologize first. First you tell me what you did and then you apologize. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then he wrote this whole paragraph message. And the message was like, so, you remember that girl that I was close to when we were in college? So we end up being best friends to an extent that he knows everything about me, my relationship stuff and his relationship stuff and all that. So 2 months ago, he had a bad breakup with his boyfriend. And I went to her house to comfort her. And I was waiting for your laugh, Tito. I knew you were going to laugh at me.
Okay, go on.
Oh my God.
Go on.
And I went to her house to comfort her and stuff like that. And we ended up having sex. Oh my God, Tito, you're not pleased.
No, let me tell you why I'm asking. Because back in the day, I did a documentary, right? And what this documentary was primarily about was I had a group of very interesting women in Zimbabwe talk about the experience of having sex with Zimbabwean men. And what they were asking me to convey was a message to Zimbabwean men to say, look, we like this being done to us, sex-wise. And it's a hugely popular documentary. So this woman at some point says that, I have to say this in Shona and I'll try and translate. Okay. And she goes, sometimes vanhu vechikadzi unongonzwa vachiti futseke vachitukana mumayadum. And all that means is sometimes you hear these women just screaming and shouting all the time and cussing and cussing and cussing. Then she goes, dzimwe nguva vanenge vasina kupuhwa bonde saka vanenge vasina kutonodzwa vanenge vane hasha. Which basically, again, in English says they are temperamental and edgy like this and hot-tempered because they're not having sex because sex cools you down. Now, I'm only reminded by what you said because when this guy said he needed to go and give this woman comfort, and then she goes on to receive sex. Akatotonodzwa.
Comfort. Premium comfort.
It just made that documentary alive for me, I guess.
Yeah.
She was in a bad way sexually. I mean bad way emotionally. And then,
she was given premium comfort.
Yeah. Yes. So, yes. Mm-hmm.
So, and the message went in and said, so we had sex. It was protected, but I didn't know how it happened. A few weeks ago, when I started, being distant, it's because she texted me telling me that she's pregnant. So right now, I don't know what to do with this whole situation. That's why I wasn't talking to you. I'm under too much pressure. This is one big message.
Wow.
I just went on and said, okay. And he was like, is that all you have to say? And like, what am I supposed to say? Congratulations?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I know I messed up. I know we had plans, blah, blah, blah. But, I still love you. And I still want a future with you. And I'm like, so what are you going to do with this whole situation? And he kept on saying, I don't know. So the funny part is, he kept on saying, I don't know. And I was like, so what is she saying? Okay, fine, you don't know. What is she saying? She said, whatever we decide. Mind you, we decide is including me in the equation. It's including me in the equation.
So she obviously knew about you.
That's why he said she knows about me. And like, okay, fine. You said we decide, including me. So then let's have a group chat. Me, you, and her. So that we see what's going to happen, because abortion is not an option. I'm not going to be part of
a conversation
of
talking
that.
about abortion. Yeah.
Don't you ever try to bring that up with me, because I'm not going to take it. And I can't be a baby mama. I can't handle baby mama drama. Me, myself, I'm too dramatic. I can't even handle my own drama. Okay. And then he was like, oh, yeah, fine, we'll call you tomorrow night after work. That call never, ever, ever happened until today. Anyways. And then he continue with his on ghosting, appearing after 2-3 days, apologizing, I'm sorry, I'm under pressure, I don't know what to do, this and that. And then I sat down and started reading the message again, and I'm like, no, it is clear that they use protection. And if it was within the time that this girl just broke up with the boyfriend, why is she so sure that it's his pregnancy? I had so many questions, and I can't ask him because he's just not reachable. So I went to the brother's wife, the one I reached the other time.
Yeah.
And then I this time I actually called her, and they were like, this is what Solomon said to me. Is it true? And these two, the reason why I have the brother's wife number is because these two are close.
Which two?
Solomon and the brother's wife.
Okay, right.
So I knew if this is true, obviously she knows about the whole thing. And then she said, I don't know anything. Anyways, I want you to say it's fine. You're going to keep the baby and you're not going to break up with him, and see how it goes. That was her advice. And I'm like, okay, fine. We'll see if it's going to work. When I spoke to him after having the whole conversation with him, he actually called me like, oh, why did you call her? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't tell anyone about the whole situation. It was just still between me and the girl, because we haven't decided what we're going to do next. And I'm like, I'm sorry, maybe I went ahead of you, but I wanted clarity since you're not talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not telling me what's going on and what you're going to do with this whole situation. Mind you have already planned this whole proposal and marriage thing with me, and I'm already planning to come back home for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm taking time to actually make a decision. I don't want to make a decision in a rush so that I can hate people. And like, you already hate me. I don't know about the other girl if she actually knows about me, but of already have hurt someone in the process. They're like, yeah, I know. I'll let you know what's going on.
Mm.
And they're like, what's up with the call? I told you we should have a group call with this girl so that I get the whole story straight. And like, oh yeah,
okay.
that day, that day she was busy. That's why we couldn't call you. But as long as she got the time, who arranged that call? And like, okay, fine. I'll be waiting for the call. And it was just like that for like weeks, I think. 2 weeks went by. All you could do is, hey, how are you? I know you don't want to talk to me because of the whole situation. I'm sorry. I love you. All those kind of texts. And I've been glued, opening them, not responding, opening them and not responding them. Until, I think after 2-3 weeks, he then said, please, I need to see you when you come this side. Because now it was now getting aligned to the days that I was planning. Mind you, I was still planning. I didn't even bought the tickets yet to go back home. So in his mind, he assumed that I'm actually definitely coming. I'd already bought the ticket. So like, please, I have to see you when you come. Maybe if we talk about this whole thing in person, and it will be much better. And I'm like, I'm not going to talk to you until I get the whole clarity. I'm not going to come and see you until I get the whole information that I want to know, because I don't want to look like a fool claiming a man who's not mine. Or when you've already made up your mind. So no, I'm not going to do that until you tell me what's going on. Now, I don't know what to do right now, honestly. But I'll let you know if we come up with a final decision and everything. Okay, fine. And then after a week, I still remember that day vividly. It was a Monday morning. Before I got to work, I opened my WhatsApp, scrolling, on status. And then I saw the brother's wife posted King Solomon and the girlfriend's traditional wedding ceremony pictures. I was shocked. I just took a screenshot and then I sent it back to him, and I was like, seemed like you have made a decision in less than 2 months of this whole chaos, and you didn't tell me anything, or you have already planned this whole thing. You're just messing around with me and stuff like that. And then you're like, oh, you never understand. We had to do the whole wedding thing because of the whole pregnancy stuff and stuff like that, the same story. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this with you. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. We're done. So I blocked him on my WhatsApp, IG. And then I forgot to block him on my TikTok. I forgot that he follows me on my TikTok because I don't normally use it for chats. And then he started calling me. I didn't know TikTok, you can actually call someone on TikTok.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and he started calling me on TikTok. And then keep on saying, I want you back, I love you, blah, 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 all that stuff. Like, but you're a married man. Like, yeah, but it's not like I married that woman because I love you. Oh, mind you, the same Saturday he got married, he was even still texting me, apologizing, saying he loves me and all that story.
Bruh.
Yeah, the same Saturday he got married. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this man? It seems like the revenge I did on dating his sister's boss was not enough for him.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, fine. He still wants me. So how are we going to do this? You're already married. And like, whatever you want me to do to make it right for you.
That's what he's now saying.
Yeah, that's what he's not saying. And then I'm like, okay, fine. If that's what you are willing to do to be with me, this is what we're going to do. You're going to leave your wife and come abroad and live with me. That's what I said to him. And I know he always wanted to leave the country. So I knew this was like the password for him to say, okay, fine, I'm going to do it. And he didn't refuse to say, okay, fine, let's do it.
I'll hold fire on asking the question I want to Excuse me, I was saying I'll hold fire on the question I want to ask and leave you to potentially say it for me later.
Okay.
But go on.
Okay, so, and then he agreed. And then I told him, so this is what you have to do for you to come here. All this time we were planning that when I go back home, we get married, you come abroad with a sports visa. So I know that's so evil what I did, but whatever. So I told him, you can't come with a sports visa anymore because you're already married.
True.
So it's either you're going to come as a student or I'll help you find a job and then you come here working. But on your work visa, it's going to take longer than on a student. And I can't stand you being there with your so-called wife for that long. So you have to do the student one. And then he agreed to my plan. And then I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm going to look for an agent for you to help you to do the whole process. And then I just got my friend into being an agent. I know this is so evil.
Yeah, okay.
So we started the whole process. So he had to look for the school fees. And I told him that I'll help you with the finances where I can, but don't expect my help like 100%. Because I had already planned and spent my money planning to come back home. Since we had already planned that we're going to get married when I come back home. Yeah. And yeah, I know. And even me, myself, if I just got married, like, but I'll find a way to make this work. Like, okay, fine, cool. So I got an application from a school. Well, I made one with the whole school fees, agent's fee, insurance, everything that he needs. Up until the visa application and the bills listed down, and then I send it to him. God. I can't believe I did this. And then he had to sell his car. I know, just say it. He had to sell his car and to rent out his parents' house. So he grew up with his aunt because his both parents passed away when he was young, but they had a house. But he never lived in it because he was staying with his aunt. So he had to rent out his biological parents' house and sell his car so that he can afford to pay for all the expenses to come abroad. And he sent me the money. But there was no school, no agent, and I was taking screenshot of all the conversation from even the one that he was texting me the day he was getting married and making a file.
Wow. How much did he send to you?
Oh, so at first, all in all, I can just say 6,000 euro.
Wow.
Yeah, because the tuition fee only for 1 year is like 3.6.
Mm-hmm.
And then other expenses like accommodation, insurance, flight, everything just round up almost to 6,000.
Mm.
And the visa. So now he's waiting. He's waiting for his visa day, which is never going to come anyways. Because no one applied it for him. And 3 days ago, this is fresh, I sent the whole file of the messages that he sent to me, even when he was getting married and after he got married, to the wife.
I am speechless.
And they blocked both of them.
Both of them, including his missus?
The wife. I just sent whole messages and everything. And then I told him that's the man you married. He's actually planning to leave you right now. And you claim that you're pregnant for him. So God. I just wanted you to know what you got yourself into. He's planning to leave you to come and stay with me. Even the whole documents that I forged anyways and the whole transfers that he did, the money transfers, I sent everything to the wife.
And because you blocked her, you don't know what her response is?
Yeah, but this brother's wife has been trying to get hold of me because I forgot to block her when I blocked everyone connected to him. But I wasn't picking her calls, so that's it.
And this happened when?
I sent the messages 3 days ago.
Uh-huh.
I know.
I don't know if you know that meme of the previous Tanzania president when he just goes, uh-huh. You know, that's that's the moment that I've had.
I know. I feel so bad.
Yeah. On one hand, I'm like, yeah, you know, good for you. You know, you did what you had to. But on the other, you know, my softer side is also like, ish. You know, ish. I don't, ish. Yeah. I really don't know how to react.
And, I do. Even me myself, I can't believe I did that. I feel so bad. Honestly, I feel bad.
Nah, you don't.
I do, Tinto. Actually, when I reached out to you, it was just a few hours after I sent the whole file to the wife.
Because I did wonder about your message when it came. You know, I've never received a message like that before. Because it was very brief. All you saw as a hi Tinto, I want to share my story, comma, it's more like a confession, full stop.
Yeah, because I was feeling so bad.
Okay, what are you feeling bad about? What were you feeling bad about?
Because honestly, he loses the money. I'm not going to send it back anyways. And most probably he's going to lose the wife too. And he lost the car, he lost the house.
I mean about losing his wife, etc., etc. One, I don't believe it's any of our business getting involved with the other person. So let's say if I find out that someone is cheating on me, it's not my business to go and confront that person's person. You know, because the issue is that particular individual that we are both doing stuff with. They're the ones who have a character flaw.
I know.
You know, so they really should be the focus of attention. So that the one thing I probably wouldn't have done would have been to send that whole file to his now-to-be missus. Because your beef is not with her.
No, I was just giving her heads up so that she knows what's going on.
She doesn't need it. That's none of your business. I learned this myself.
Yeah.
You know, the hard way when I once went and I thought I'd speak to somebody who I caught my person cheating with. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell your person that they're up to this. Nah, they didn't care. They came together and they fought me instead.
Oh no.
So this is why I say that, I'm a firm believer that that's a completely wasted effort. One, respect for you is lost as an individual. Potentially, if they decide to get together and say, oh, this person is psycho, you become the psycho one in their eyes.
I know. I feel like it.
Yeah, so, I mean, for all we know, yeah, she's going to cry, how can you do this to me? You wanted to leave me, blah, 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 blah. But remember, at some point, you, once upon a time, were so hell-bent on becoming Mrs. Something that you took a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
She could be the same person taking a lot of bullshit because she's focused on the same thing. So whatever it is that you'd have done counts for absolutely nothing. So you'll be, out in Europe, wherever you are, sitting, having this internal conversation. Yeah, I got him. Now she's now she's going to know what she's dealing with. Yeah, she knows. But my belief is be with someone whose worst side you can deal with. If she can deal with him cheating, maybe because she's seen so much of it in her life, it won't mean shit. On the other hand, now you're stuck with guilt conscience. So how are you going to deal with your guilt? Because now this is what matters for me the most. That other clusterfuck is fucked. It has blown off. Now what are you going to do with your guilt?
I don't know. I feel so bad, honestly. I don't know what I'm going to do.
What are your friends saying you must do?
They were not up for it from the word girl when I tell them that's what I'm going to do.
Right. You know how on this podcast they talk about what your gut tells you to do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually to leave someone. I'm sure your gut is talking to you as we speak.
Yeah.
What is your gut telling you?
Oh, Tito. To just let it go.
But what does letting it go mean? Because you've got money in the bank now.
Yeah, I know. I was even thinking of sending it back or sending it to the wife. I don't know.
Again, what's your gut telling you?
I think I'm just going to send it back.
Do you want my 2 cents?
Bring it on.
I'm just looking at your lesson number 2. It says, when you cheat, karma becomes your shadow.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove the first 3 words, which are when you cheat, and replace them is when you're deceitful.
Okay.
Karma becomes your shadow. Then that way, that lesson applies to you both, Akisa and King Solomon.
To me, yeah, as well. Okay.
Because whether we like it or we don't, you were deceitful in how you presented the idea. I mean, I get what it is that you're trying to do. You're trying to build a story so that you have ammunition to send your package to the missus and say, hey, this is what you're dealing with. And then you come out as the bigger person was able to leave King Solomon, who had hurt you before. So you felt the need to hurt them back. Hurt people, hurt others. You were hurt, you've hurt him, you've hurt her.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, there's a book that we used to read called Messages to Young People. Needless to say, people by now know that I was Seventh-day Adventist, yes. There's a book we used to read called Messages to Young People. Very valuable book, incredibly powerful. And one of the lessons that hit hard when I became older was that God holds us accountable for every single heart that we break.
Okay.
And that scared me to bits. I didn't like that.
It actually did.
Yeah, I didn't want to know that, okay, I deliberately did mess up somebody's heart here. And I feel like I got away scot-free, but God is going to hold us accountable. And being accountable means that you have to own your shit, period. And in this case, it's only the fact that you were deceitful in how you presented the case. And now you've got the proceeds of deceit sitting in your bank. I mean, your bank is smiling. The interest rate is good. You can probably have
very smiling.
Yeah, you can have. I think you can have a really good time. But in Shona, the expressions about kudzia moto wembava.
Oh my God.
Which hits differently when you say it. And when I translate that to English, it's the proceeds of crime. Which if you start hearing that buzzword in my world, hey man, that's not a nice thing to be dealing with, because then they can't disassociate the benefit of doing something deceitful from you as a person. They bundle you as one.
Yeah, true.
So I guess the only thing I have to say here is have some time with your conscience. Speak to your gut, because I know your gut is speaking to me. There's a lot that I'm hearing from you without saying it. Have a conversation with yourself and do the right thing. And that really depends on what you are as a person. If you're able to give a lesson such as when you cheat, karma becomes your shadow, and I'm saying when you're deceitful, karma becomes your shadow, you should be able to hold yourself by the same standard. Then that will have some real weight behind it. Otherwise, you're not really walking the walk or talking the talk.
Yeah, true.
And I think if you want to be the joyful girl that your name really is, Akisa, it means joyful girl. Give yourself some joy internally by doing what you know is right.
Okay. All right. I think I can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck. Good luck. I'm sure the feelers would love to know. I mean, I would love to know how you handle it in the end. But do your best to bring peace to your own heart, because like we were saying, that hurt people hurt others. Once you're able to make peace with yourself and you made peace with those that you hurt, I think it becomes easier for you to not hurt anymore because you've got it off your chest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
I do.
Yeah, and in the same breath, please do yourself a favor and keep King Solomon away from you as much as possible. Keep him blocked. Yeah.
I did block him.
Yeah. Keep him that way after all of this.
Okay.
Good luck, and let us know how you get on, Akisa.
Okay, thank you so much, Tinto.
No, you're welcome, and thank you very much for sharing this. I can feel how heavy it has been for you. I'll actually give you a call soon after I stop recording this, just to touch base with you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tinto.
You're welcome, and you guys have been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I would catch you in the next episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you're feeling. Let me talk about my feelings. Yeah.
Rudoi motor noto kujidziro amai.
Love is a fire.
Rudoi motor noto kujidziro amai.